you gotta like you gotta understand that. So unless you're getting money and chasing yield, your money is going to go to the people that are offering goods and services, and the more money you throw into the pot, the more of it's going to go to the people that are offering goods and services. You could put 10 people on the island, give everybody $100. 100 people, 9 of them are going to spend their money. One person is going to spend their money figuring out how to get the rest of the other people's money.
Yep.
And that person is going to be rich.
So like I speak about the relationship of money, right?
Yeah.
How money can get jealous, right? You
Yeah.
put your money in a bank and you sort of leave it there. In any relationship, if you don't nurture the relationship, that person is going to leave, right?
Yeah.
So people put their money in the bank, show no love to the money, but the bank will take your money 10x those resources and give you a little bit back, right? And even from
if
that.
So, all right. So, the irony of banks, not to cut you off, I got to put this out there. First and foremost, you're actually paying money to the bank to keep your money.
Uh-huh.
So the bank first they say if you have less than $2,000, you owe us $20 a month.
To hold
to hold your money. So yeah, and they chalk it up as fees.
Mhm.
No, that's negative interest. They're charging you for you to give them money. So you're giving them money for them to make money, but they're charging you for that.
Yep.
That's the first part. The second part is if you look at the yield of what you gained in interest versus the amount of bank fees, and people think, "Oh, I'm the only one that gets bank fees." No, that's the majority of banks' revenue. That's from
Huge
the
portion.
savings accounts, checking accounts, or fees.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big balance. Anybody that's, at a high level of banking, they understand what I'm talking about. Bank fees are a big portion of their money. So if you got $100 in the bank, you get one fee, or you got $500 in the bank, you get a $35 fee. That's interest. So you're paying them to hold your money. Bank it, to me personally, I don't want to bank with anybody that doesn't give me a loan. If you're going to take my money and you're going to invest it and give loans to other people, and you're not going to give me a loan, we have nothing to talk about.
But then that's really now coming to the understanding of the relationship with the different banks, right?
Yeah.
The larger banks versus the smaller community banks, and just knowing how to build a relationship with certain banks. Because I've sat down with people that have been banking with some of the bigger banks. I'm not going to mention any names. And when they're ready to get a mortgage, they believe just because they've been with this bank for 10, 15 years that automatically this bank is going to offer them the best rate, the best mortgage. And usually that bank says no to all of the above. And then they realize finally, oh, different banks use us differently. So you're supposed to use banks. They're going to use your money anyway.
So what do you see? It is that I ask people, what do you deem as a good banking relationship? So, okay, so you say you're a bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go, hey, I have $20,000. I'm going to leave with you. You go, great. I'm gonna give you a credit card, and you call us if you have any problems. So I pay my bills on time. I never go overdraft. There's no strain on a relationship. You're taking my money, you're spending it, doing what you have to do, and I feel good because no phone calls, no problems. I'm right in my life. Is that a good relationship? It sounds like you're taking advantage of me, really. What have I gotten in return?
Nothing.
Exactly. But we have a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, a great relationship is both parties become better from the union. That's a great relationship. But I can have if it's just 0-0, I can have a relationship with anybody.
That's
And
true.
then most people you meet you start at 0-0.
Yeah. So if you're there after a period of time, so do you think it makes sense to have relationships with multiple banks?
Yes.
Because I believe it, but I wanted to make obviously
Yes.
You're within the
Yes.
high end real estate
and
space.
talk to people that can directly lend you money.
That one.
Yeah.
So I personally don't bank anywhere that I don't have the banker's direct contact information. That's one thing that if I go into a bank and I'm building a relationship, if I'm not able to get that person's cell phone number, I don't bank with them, because when anything happens, I want to be able to call someone. I don't need to have to go to the bank. I want to send an email. I want the person. That's for me. That's one thing that's very important.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I try to run my banking as best as possible, but on occasion things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like let's be honest. If you have a business and you're collecting checks, eventually you're gonna have a bounce check. I don't care who you are, it happens. Like you know, it's not you, it's just the nature of business. If you collect enough checks, one of them are gonna bounce. You know, I don't want a bank that's gonna all of a sudden, you know, I just gave you a ton of money. I don't like you holding my money for 10 days before I get it.
Yeah.
You know, especially on a certified check. I have a problem with that.
That one, in my opinion, makes absolutely no sense, right? Because it's a certified check. It was certified either, and sometimes the bank that certifies it will try to hold it versus it was certified by.
Because there's value if you to the bank if you can't withdraw it.
Yep.
They get to use that money daily.
Yep.
While you wait for it, so that's an income stream for them. They're not gonna tell you that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because if it's the same institution, it's easily verifiable. It should be liquid.
That's
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. So, but a lot of times too, it's just what you are willing to ask for
Mm-hmm.
and what you negotiate. I go in there, I can negotiate my terms. If I don't like what I hear, I walk out.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing to talk about. Next. I don't. I'm figuring out how you can help me. I'm gonna help you place good money. You gonna help me grow my business. If we can't have, it's not mutual.
Time to go.
See you later.
How do you think about what's going on within the real estate space in comparison to what's going on in 2020?
It's weird.
Like, what's your outlook on?
Let me just be frank. The government doesn't give a shit about landlords. Apparently,
Throughout the country, certain
throughout
cities.
the country, the moratorium that Trump just put on for renters not having to pay is, I mean, it's a federal thing. You know, the states got to figure out how they're going to use it, but there's a lot of state legislation like that as well. It's somebody when you give um, when you give a concession to a certain group of people, and I'm not saying it's warranted or not, but that's another discussion. But somebody has to front the bill for that.
Yep.
And it's very difficult. Most of real estate is owned by the small businesses. You know, they're not like the Donald Trumps of the world with, you know, tons of, you know, their mom and pops that may have a 5 unit or 4 unit, 6 unit. It is so 3 or 4 tenants not paying them is a very big deal. Yeah. So you put the building and other, you know, not only is the landlord in jeopardy, but the other tenants are in jeopardy as well because now you don't have the repairs to properly take care and manage the building, and it actually adds more pressure to the municipality because if they're not paying the mortgage, they're not paying taxes.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, it's like I said, it's when you have that type of stimulus, you gotta really. There's always a cost to it. Like economics, we're taught there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So if lunch is being provided, somebody had to pay for
Somebody's
it.
paying. Yep.
Yeah, and the people don't necessarily do the research to figure out well who's paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
And the government is not enough because the government is a pass-through entity. They collect tax, they spend money. So if they're borrowing money, the people that are paying it back are the citizens.
Yep.
Yeah. And money is never borrowed without interest.
That makes total sense. Someone has resources. It can be $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, what have you.
Yeah.
Or they have credit to be able to borrow against.
Yeah.
Would you tell them to hold on to their resources or still look for opportunities within the real estate space?
Look for opportunities. I like the SBA opportunity right now.
Mm-hmm.
SBA, you can buy a business like it's nothing. You gotta take a chance. Like you know, like people had this false illusion of stability.
Mm-hmm.
Stability is false. Stability is created by man. So either you're created for yourself or you're living on somebody else's stability.
Yep.
And if it's created by man, then it could be lost as well. You know, big time companies go bankrupt all the time. So the and then the problem with stability or the stability mindset is that it's not a growth mindset. You can't grow being stable. Stability in and of itself, the definition is fixed in position.
Yeah, there's no growth. Yeah.
So you're not going up either.
Mm-hmm.
You're here. So in order to grow, there has to be instability.
Mm-hmm.
You need instability in order to grow. You can also go down, but it has to be unstable in order for you to
even have a chance
to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to have that mindset that you're gonna be able to stand the good and bad storms. But the grass is greener on being free. And I don't want to trade it for.
Usually the people who are willing to bet on themselves.
Yeah.
Experience that freedom.
Yeah. There's people like, oh, I don't want any hiccups. I don't want to go through this. I don't want to go through that. It's just like you deal with it every day at wherever you're at. I don't know. What office you know doesn't have politics. People. This is the trend. You go in there the first year, it's all good. By year 2 or 3, people get unhappy, and by between 5 and 7, they looking to get out of there. Something's happening. You know, there's a lot of people that go into jobs they hate just for a paycheck.
Yeah.
I wake up every day and I'm happy. I love exactly what I do, and I'm a great boss.
Yourself. But yeah, man, it is interesting because I even remember back when we were first growing that company. I was the only one who had a job at that time.
Yeah, right? Thank goodness you did. It got tough. That's hilarious.
But I remember back then, I'm like, man, one day I want to be able to be fully free, right? Yeah. Where I didn't have to. It wasn't like, man, I have to wait till the nighttime to really build something or sneak while I'm at work to do something. But obviously, everyone is about timing, right? It's about whenever it makes sense for you. At that point, although I wanted to leave the job, I don't believe that for me, the lane that I was getting into, I didn't have all the awareness or wherewithal to be able to do it. So it took leaving that company, going on Wall Street, working for one of the top investment banks, studying. Obviously, they were paying me well, so that helped too. Yeah. That always helps. But they were paying me to learn because I was studying everything that was happening.
And that's an excellent point. Yeah, you took a position so that you can learn the craft. Like it's nothing wrong with job. There's nothing wrong with job. It's just job mentality. Are you going there just for the money? Or are you going there to educate so that you can use the information later on?
Yeah.
Because that's more valuable than the little paycheck that you're gonna get.
Straight up.
Even if they gave you $50,000 more, the education you got allows you to become free.
Brother, it's because I was studying everything, man. Everything from the clients that I was working on to the top people within the company. I was just starting to realize certain habits. So once that transition finally happened, I always tell people, March 11, 2015 at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, man, was the last time I ever had to work with somebody else. And that was really my freedom day, man, from the standpoint of, I remember I was on Broadway, 48th Street. The sun was crisper. Everything was just better. And from that point on, I realized that it doesn't mean that I had everything planned out, I had everything together, but I had a shot at something more.
Yeah, and I think the thing that people don't know is you was an entrepreneur before that date.
Yes, absolutely, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But my jobs, they were
that's the day you fired your boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because 100%.